Everyone, welcome to my channel. Angel Enoch here, and those of you who are new, welcome. Those of you who are returning, thank you for your love and support. I have a special video kind of events that I kind of dealt with recently, if I'm going to be perfectly honest and tell you where I have my fallibles, right? Fallible, I think that's a word. Where I falter, there we go. But it's been with pride. And I mean, people think of pride as like, oh, I'm better than everyone, or oh, I know better. But pride with God is a slippery slope, right? Like, having full faith in God is one thing, but then having so much faith in God and that you can conquer anything and you go seeking out trouble proactively is another thing. Then you're taking God for granted. It's like having that big brother or big sister, and like in school, they're going to help defend you. No matter what bullies or whoever comes around, you're going to know that they're going to have your back, right? So you might pick fights on purpose, because you know that your bigger brother and sister are going to come save you. Well, what happens if your big brother and sister's like, well, you picked this fight, you got to deal with it for yourself right now. And so that's exactly kind of what happened with me, right? Not in the physical world, but in the spiritual world. So, a couple weeks ago, I was working with this event that artists from all around the world brought artwork to sell. And there was some artists, that you build a kinship with. You work with same people every day for a couple days. You start like building kinship, right? Like you're like, oh, these people are cool. They are welcoming me into their world, or they're welcome to our country, whatever. And I misread some people that were from another country. Now, I'm not going to mention what country, and I'm not going to mention what, because I don't think it's right to be biased against another world or another belief system. And that's why I was so welcoming, and, so like, we were talking every day, and like, I'd talk with them for a little bit, take little breaks while I was making my rounds, doing security for the event. And, it was a father and a son, and I was like, okay, well, these people are pretty cool. Like, they're nice. They're like, yeah, you should visit our country, blah, 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 blah. Like, acting like, welcome. And then I swear it was a message that I should have been listening more to, of intuition. I heard the Father 3 times say, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. I'm like, you're going to bless me? No, I'm going to bless you. You're going to bless me? No, I'm going to bless you. That's what I heard. But that's not what he was asking. He asked me if I was hungry, if I needed snacks. There's snacks I could have just gone for myself. And I have been already, getting them. They were in they were in a warehouse across the way, across the street. For us workers, staff members, volunteers, and all that stuff, that we all had something to snack on, cookies, chips, and stuff. So he got me a goodie bag of drinks and snacks. I didn't think anything of it. Ate it. Both days that I ate, I felt demonic, dark energies attacking me. It was so strong, it was hard for me to cast out. And it was other things too. I had a coworker of mine trying to coerce me, bought me food, and then later on, when he was an hour late to work, was saying, you should tell the boss that I'm an hour late to work because I bought you breakfast and you owe me. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be coerced to lie. It's against my beliefs. And so, I don't know, but those devil contracts that these people try to create, right? Like, I'm going to do something for you, but I'm going to collect on you later on, and it's going to be how I see fit. That's the devil, no matter how you see it, right? So I had that energy too, and it was it was working with the same event. There was different people coming at me from different places with different ill intentions of dark energy. So it was a lot to fight. So here I am, I cleared like most of them, but then some of them were a little trickier. I kind of accidentally did reverse chanting on myself, prayer. So instead of casting out the dark energies, I was inviting them in and casting out the good ones. So you can imagine how harder that became. I'm finally like in a way better place now. It took a ton of work, but between that then and this weekend and what happened was that my pride came in, right? And my vengeance, right? Like, don't be vengeful. And so my pride kicked in and it was like, no, God's always got me. I have full faith in God. And that's not a lie. And that's true. Like, God's got us. We have to have full trust and faith in God. We have to trust that God is going to do miraculous things for his angels. Excuse me. A little bit of apple cider vinegar and water and cloves. I put cloves in it. Been having a sore throat from a lot of chanting, and also too because the dryness out here in New Mexico is just ridiculous. It's dirt everywhere. Can't wait to move somewhere by the beach where it's more moist and I don't have these issues. But anyways, so yeah, I came vengeful, right? And I came forward like, okay, well, God and I will handle any demons, And if you're not actively seeking these energies and you are being attacked, of course, God's going to have your back. Like, boom, He's going to take care of you, undo all that spell work, and make sure it even says in the scriptures, right, of the Bible, Book of Enoch, whatever you want to look at, right, it says that all those who did ill spell work against my against my just ones, will pay for their sins pretty much. And so any witchcraft people do on you, any kind of, don't even worry about it. Just what I usually do normally is look what they did to your angel here. Like, they did this spell work. I didn't ask for it. This wasn't my intention. This wasn't from me. I didn't, I'm an innocent, like in this situation, I am an innocent, right? Because I didn't go seeking it out in the beginning. So then I turned it from tired of being the sitting duck to wanting to take things into my own hands, right? So that made it even worse. And that was part of the trickery of the devil energies from that spell work too, was to be like, no. And so what I did was, I was like, okay, I'm going to seek out some of these darker energies that I know have plagued me before, and I just want to cast them down to hell, and I'm going to take it into my own hands. And I pretty much took on a bigger project than I anticipated. I took on more demons than I realized, and that was my pride, and that was taking God for granted. And taking his power for granted, taking his love for granted, taking his dedication for granted. That it's like having that big sister, big brother. And if you're going to be in middle school, high school, or even elementary school, and you're going to go pick fights with bullies because you know that your big brother or big sister is going to come and rescue you and beat them up for you. Well, that's what I kind of did in the spiritual world. And I messed up. So I'm being perfectly honest, I messed up. And so it was a lot of work, and I had to really dig deep. Where am I messing up with God? Because it was hard. I couldn't clear the energies as easily as I normally can. And it was because I messed up. I ended up, by vengeance and pride, welcoming forces that I shouldn't have to cast them out. And in that sense, I played devil's advocate. So it took me time. I did clear out the energies, and I'm asking God for forgiveness and all that stuff, and I'm doing all my work. So I feel a lot better now. God has also sent a couple of angels. Shout outs to 2 angels that came to be God's messengers towards me in the physical, and that was this guy Anthony and this guy Noah, that were strangers. And then of course shout outs to my friends that I asked for help. Shout out to Ashley and Maya and Lawrence. Shout out to them because I asked them to pray over me, and they prayed for me for mental clarity, help with blessings, help with the dark energies. Shout out to them because we're not meant to handle everything on our own. We're meant to be peaceful, but also there's strength in numbers in angels, right? But you got to know which ones to trust. And these people that I know, they're my friends, I've known them for years, and I knew that they would help me, and that their intentions would be pure and good. And so, not to say that I don't have other friends that are out there too that would help me, but in the moment, they're been the ones that I've been talking to more recently. Just we've been communicating anyways. So it just kind of came to mind. And it really was a blessing that all these angels came to my aid. Called on my ancestors. I called on my guardian angels. I called on Raphael, Gabriel, and Jesus, and Michael. And I was just like, come help me fight these dark forces. And so through the spiritual realm and the physical realm, I had angels on my side, which I'm so grateful for. And that's the thing, gratitude, right? Prayer, in that we're not meant to fight all these fights by ourselves. That's our pride again, taking control and saying, hey, I'm too good. And I think that's the other thing, is the dark energies were like, he's going to be too prideful. He thinks he can handle this all on his own. He's not going to know when to ask for help. But when you're good and humble and you're on the right path, you're going to know when the fight's too big for you, and when to ask for extra help, and when to ask for that extra support through prayer or whatever it is. Asking God for help when you're not strong enough to do it. And that was the thing, is like, no, like, I didn't intend to disobey God or go against his word, right? I didn't mean to do these things. And that's where pride, and it can be a slippery slope, like I'm saying. It could be one of those things, someone breaks in your house, they want to attack you, or they want to steal from you, and you either beat them up or shoot them, or you beat them with the baseball bat, or you do whatever to defend your home, to defend your thing. Violence, nonetheless, is bad. And it says, turn the other cheek. Don't go with a vengeful heart. Don't go for revenge. Someone's hurt your family. Don't go with revenge. Whether you think the legal system is unfair, or you think the legal system doesn't take care of things, it's not about the legal system. It's about the spiritual one that matters more. Because this is man's land anyway, and man doesn't know what they're doing half the time. And man, I don't mean as race. I don't mean it as gender. I mean it as species. Man and woman, the same. No gender bias. I say race. But you know what I mean. This is not the world that we live in is not of God, the way he designed it. It is of humans and their interpretations and what they think is right and wrong. And I'm not to say that the legal systems are wrong, but there's a lot of corruption too. There's a lot of ways that people buy out their time in jail with money, if they have money. There's ways that the system's corrupt. Let's just put it that way. So if you think that's the case, and you think your case is not being dealt with the right way, pray to God and surrender to God. It's ego and surrender. And that's where I had my ego, was like, no, I'm going to handle this. Me and God God and I are going to handle this, right? I'm going to correct myself. God first. God and I are going to handle this, right? We're partners in crime. That's it. He's not a partner of crime. If you're seeking out violence and vengeance, or spiritual demons to vanquish, if you're going and looking for trouble, and you're trying to put God in that trouble when he's supposed to be love and peace, then you're messing up God. If you take a life, you're taking that life out of God's hands. You're taking away that person's opportunity to seek God in this life. Like, it doesn't matter how much crime they've done, right? It's between God and that person. And if you are taking a life, you're avoiding that person from being able to even connect to God in this world, to be able to heal and repent and make it, or whatever the case may be, or make it to lesser of hell, or whatever. I'm not gonna say how people get punished, because it's not my place. But what I'm saying, is the laws of God doesn't say don't kill unless it's for this. Don't kill unless it's for that. It says don't kill, period. Black and white. It doesn't say don't lie if it's for this. It says don't lie. Don't lust. Don't covet thy neighbor's thing. And that's the other thing, right? I work with so many people that are lustful in so many ways that they don't care if it's someone's wife, someone's girlfriend. They don't care if that person's 40, 50 years younger than them. And I don't know, I guess age is just a number to some people. But if it's between both people, some of these people are not after these old people. But they're being idolized and lusted after. And it's like, okay, what if that was your grandkid? Would you want some pervy old man to hit on your granddaughter at 18 years old? No, but you're doing it and you're making an excuse for yourself. And that's the other thing too, is when you're lustful, you're also looking at greed. They kind of go hand in hand. Because if you're lusting after someone else's girlfriend, husband, wife, boyfriend, whatever it is, you're lusting after someone that's not yours, that's not supposed to be yours, you're also being greedy. And you're wanting them, and you're wanting to steal. And see how they kind of like stack, the sins kind of stack each other upon each other. And when you don't think there's anything wrong with it, that's your pride. That's why pride is the worst one. Because if you're not prideful, you're more easy to see the error of your ways and to want forgiveness. But if you're not, but if you're prideful, you're not going to see anything wrong with what you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's as minor as boasting about you had the best vacation on social media and being prideful. Sometimes people that are less fortunate get hurt with that, so that could also cause some issues, right? I'm not saying to like not post when you enjoy your time, but when it's over and over, or you brag about how many blessings you have to where a point where it's being too boastful. It's a fine line between blessed and prideful. And that's the big message that I'm trying to give out here is just be careful. It's the path towards God and heaven is a very thin line. It's like a unicycle on a tightrope, right? Most people fall off and fall off and fall off and give up because they're like, I'm never going to get this. It's too hard. And the ones that make it across, they've had to fall several times and get back up. You think that they were able to just cross the rope the first time? It may be very rare if someone ever had, right? And that's what I like to compare it to, is because you're wibbly wobbly, right, on a bicycle, and whoop, you fall off. Okay, maybe I lean too much to the right. Now I lean too much to the left. It's that middle line. It's a narrow path for a reason, especially with pride involved. Because, you know, if you're like, oh, if you go too fast, you might lose control. You go too slow, well, it's going to take you forever. Maybe you'll make it, but maybe you might tire out with mental concentration and your legs working too slowly so it's moderate, steady pace, right? Moderation and steadiness. And that's with anything. You could be with a job. You think you know all the answers when you first get in because you have past experience in a similar work field. And this company does things a little bit differently, or they do everything differently. And now you got to relearn and reshape your mind. It was like a difference. I used to work for 2 different call centers, same field, call centers for cell phone companies. I'm not going to mention the companies to prevent bias. Excuse me. The second company was more of like, own your business, be more of an advocate, be yourself, be different, be unique. Don't go by a script. The other company was like, no, you have to say this. And at the end of the call, you have to say this. You have to make sure you fix the person's issue by asking him this question. And it was very structured. You wanted to also make sure with this new company that you were fixing all their issues too. Because that was one of their they call them pillars. But they're customer service pillars pretty much. And so it was a different way of doing it, but they let you do it the way you want it to, so they gave you more freedom. So but they also gave you different metrics to go off of than the other company, and so you were more of business minded. Like, how are you contributing to this portion of the business with profit and loss? How are your credits and adjustments being weighed against how much revenue you're bringing in with selling accessories or lines and, things like that. So it was different, whereas the other one didn't really teach on all that stuff. It was more surveys and sales. And so they didn't really open their eyes up to the business aspect of it as much as the other company. So it was a whole new structure with things. And so if you're going with a closed-minded, well, this isn't how we did it over here. Oh, this isn't, you're never going to learn and grow new things. And with the second company, I was able to achieve, I was like employee of the month rewards 6 times in a year and a half span. So like once a season, because I was motivated by the second company because I came with an open mind. I hated selling things and I hated trying to offer things at the first company. But I said, you know what? All these other people are successful at it. So I'm going to push myself and I'm going to do something better for myself. And so I did. I balanced out all my metrics so I was able to earn that because it wasn't just on sales. You had to balance everything, your customer service surveys and all that. So you were all balanced. And so, if you don't know, if you're not open-minded with an open heart, you're not going to learn new things. And when you're too prideful, you avoid yourself from learning new things. Sorry, my throat's getting really dry. I'm going to have to cut this short. But I hope this message resonates with you, and I hope you learned a lot from it. I'm going to try to do another Transition Tuesday lesson here in a little bit, and that's about not having two hearts, not saying you're of God, but then having enjoying the pleasures of that are not of God, right? And also what it means to not really associate with people who are doing that as well. But until then, I thank you again for watching this video, and blessings, love, light, prosperity, abundance, open heart, moderation, God's mental clarity and patience help you through everything. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.